Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your host Majestic speaking, coming to you with a little bit of a highlight here. A special edition of MechWarrior Online in the Ebon JAG Clan Hero Esprit de Corps, or as some may call it, the Esprit de Corps, if you have that thick of an accent in saying it. But today I'm going to be taking it out for a spin. I pretty much threw this build together, and it actually turned out to be a pretty decent round of gameplay that you're going to see here. It was actually during Molten Metal's stream. I grouped up in his group during the stream, and this is how it performed in that match. So I just wanted to give you guys at least a little bit of an overview of what I've been working with this mech. It is a 65-ton heavy mech. It's an Omni mech. It's a clan mech, so there's a lot that you can do with it. It does have this unique little aesthetic paint scheme to it, but the most interesting fact about this mech is that it allows for dual ballistics in those high-mounted left and right torso slots. So the right torso comes with the A variant, and then the left torso is what we were looking for that ballistic hardpoint in the Esprit de Corps. So if we look at the mech lab itself, you can see it has dual LB5s in those high mounts, and then I just placed 4 heavy small lasers in there, crammed it full of ammo, and then 2 light machine guns, 1 in each arm, filled the rest of it with double heat sinks, and then I have a 1.66 heat management ratio, 19 double heat sinks in total, and then 65 out of 65 tons, 77 out of 78 slots, 422 out of 422 armor, 43 is the alpha, 87.1 kph is the max speed. I pretty much threw this together, and having seen how it performed on the battlefield and the score that we got, I'm thinking I might modify it a little bit. So this was pretty much a rough estimate of how this mech would do, considering this particular loadout. And there's definitely more to come with this mech in the near future. But as for right now, as a trial build, that's the footage that you guys are about to see. You know, I put this together, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to join in on the stream, and then it turned into a decent round. This is pretty much with the optimal performance that you guys are going to see with this particular build on this particular mech. So by no means is this, you know, the all is said and done type of scenario where this is the max that this mech will ever do on the battlefield. But it's at least a rough estimate if you were to include substantial amount of firepower in both ballistic torsos. Now, as you guys can see, in 3 of the 4 components that have weapon hardpoints in them, we're using the A variant. So I have the A right arm, the A left arm, and the A right torso. It's only the Esprit de Corps left torso that I'm actually using. But that's simply to provide balance. I wanted to make sure that if I had 1 ballistic in the right torso, I also had 1 ballistic in the left torso. And then, you know, I was messing around with the rest of the omnipods and seeing which ones would kind of fit here. And the Esprit de Corps does have an energy and a missile in each arm, but I decided, you know what, we're sticking with the ballistic theme, and you know, the missile hardpoints would take up a lot more tonnage if I were to actually incorporate them on this build. Obviously, as I mentioned, there's so much more to do with this mech. This is pretty much just a very, very rough build that I threw together, and it happened to perform half decent. Obviously, you know, you'll see it out there in just a second, but I at least wanted to give some background behind it. Just some footage for you guys to kind of think about and take in if you guys decide to get this mech for yourselves, incorporating both of these high-mounted ballistics here. I've seen dual Gauss, I've seen LB10s on here, I've seen the works pretty much. So it's up to you guys how you actually want to configure it. This is how I decided to roll with it for now. Definitely more of a short-range brawler kind of build, a little bit of splat with the high mounts and everything. And I enjoyed it for what it was, but I know that there's a lot more to be said for this mech than you know, this particular build in and of itself that I, you know, had randomly come up with. But this is what we're working with for now. Skill tree looks as follows. Catering towards that LBX spread, obviously we want that to be as close and consolidated as possible. Other than that, it's all generic quirks that we went for in the firepower tree. We went for range, we went for velocity, cooldown, heat gen, and then, as I said, those 2 LBX spread nodes, obviously catering towards those high-mounted ballistics. Now, on the survival tree, decided to go about it this way. Just fill out a little bit of skeletal density, some armor hardening, get close to the bottom here as much as we possibly could, but then full mobility for the most part, apart from yaw and pitch. Moving over to the operations, we just did a little bit of heat containment, some improved gyros to reduce the cockpit shake. Obviously, as a brawler, we're going to be up towards the front lines, and a cool run node. And then last but not least, the auxiliary node on the last spot here for the cool shot and the artillery strike that we're going to be catering towards with the consumables. So again, just so you guys can see exactly what consumables I put on there, there's the cool shot and the artillery strike. So you know exactly what you're getting into if you decide to build this mech for itself. Very, very awesome heat management. Obviously, the ballistics, you know, the LB5s, they do give off some heat. It's the heavy lasers that you really have to worry about the most out of this mech, and firing them in conjunction with those LB5s. The light machine guns don't produce any sort of heat, so you're safe in that regard. But that's going to do it for the overview. I hope you guys enjoy the round of gameplay. This is not the build that I want to feature for this mech. I just want to at least show you guys what is possible. So definitely take it... What the hell? Sorry about that. So I just want you guys to take it for what it is. Take it all with a grain of salt and just kind of see, you know, if it works with your kind of play style and if you would even consider this mech and the hard points it provides. But that's going to do it from me. Let's head back out to the battlefield with Baradul and the rest of the streamers and everyone that was in his group for our single round of gameplay in this trial Frankenstein-y mech build on the ebon JAG Esprit de Corps Clan Hero. Here we go.
Artillery strike activated. Incoming missile. New target acquired. New target acquired.
Pushing forward now. Coming for the Marauders in here.
I'm dead.
You got a match behind it.
They're coming in hard behind us.
Watch your left. Guys, you gotta push hard. We gotta turn around and face the back. Moving.
Behind us. I'm on the Marauders.
New target acquired.
Right behind you, Scuba.
New target acquired. Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Target spotted.
Coming around the other side. Hits her.
New target acquired. Target acquired. Target destroyed. New target acquired.
You can stay on Bravo, that would be huge. They definitely need to die.
New target acquired. Target destroyed.
Nice shot, Majestic. Nice shot.
Major torso critically damaged.
Delta. XL
Target
engine.
destroyed. Target acquired. Target acquired. Target destroyed.
That's off the turn around.
Target destroyed.
Yeah, nice comeback, man.
GG.
I was a bit worried in the first stage.
Yeah.